All right, guys, in this video, we're going to cover out some of the pros and cons of the two different stoves we use the most. We had quite a few questions about stability and using larger skillets and stuff. In this video, we're going to talk about, the griddles, how stable they are, a typical 10-inch cast iron, which seems to be the standard when you're out camping. So, guys, let's jump into it. Christy's going to do this one here for us, and I'll get behind the camera. So, let's jump into it and let's talk about the pros and cons. All right, guys, so since Chrissy does a lot of the cooking, I help her out a lot too. We're a good team. We work together. So we had a couple really good questions about stability on the different types of stoves. As you can see here, we've got a big griddle out here that we use a lot. And this is one of our Camp Chef griddles. As you can see, it fits over both those burners really well. And this is on our tailgate cooktop. It's a UHMW. Basically, we can use it as food prep. Obviously, wipe it down when we first get to somewhere. But let's talk about the stability of the different types of cooktops here for skillets, pans, and griddles. So we'll let Christy take it over here and tell you what she thinks.
You're funny. Let me take over. So I would start here. This is where we started. Was with the Coleman 2-burner stove. We used the cast iron skillets. This is a 10-inch. You can see, it fits on there pretty good. You would have room for another, probably a little bit smaller skillet, or a lot of times ours is our coffee pot. So we'll have a coffee going, and we'll have a, skillet over here, or boiling some water for later to cook, to wash our dishes in. So, but you can see here, my dollar store spoons, you can really be mixing stuff up, and this thing's not moving. It's as stable as it can be.
You can make all the gravy you want.
The skillet is not moving around on us. It's all staying there nice and good to cook with. The nice thing about this is it does have the wind breaks, which helps to keep your skillets more uniform in their temperature versus this thing where it doesn't have that.
But so far, really, we haven't had no problems with the Coffyard either.
Well, not big problems. When we were in Colorado, I did have a little bit of problem. We were really in a open area, and I did have a little bit of problem with the wind that first night, just blowing through, and it kind of took me a little bit longer to cook than it usually does, but it wasn't worth being like, I'm never using this again. So, and
it was 30 that night.
Yeah,
too, it was cold.
Yes, and it was very cold out. So, but you can see this is super, super stable. And if we wanted to switch and put a griddle on here, the griddle fits in there.
You have to open up the wind guards a little bit. But
yep, you got to open those up. That griddle fits in there.
It doesn't seem to work as good as on the Coffyard.
Correct. So this one, but they make different ones, and I think the reason this one doesn't work as good on this, but is these legs, because it's got these legs here. I don't know if the camera will show them. They kind of sit on top of the grate, but they do make another one where another griddle style where it wouldn't sit on the grate like that, and it'd probably be a little bit better. But then
it's more of a flat pan.
Yes. But you can still, I've had no problem mixing up my eggs and all the different things that I would usually cook on this. We recently did, fajitas and different things with it. But this is what we started out with. And we would go back and forth between the skittle and the skillet. So it's really just what you prefer. And then we can do the same thing over here. You can see 10-inch skillet fits over that burner perfect.
You can put a 24-inch cast iron skillet on that, and it's not going to have any problems.
My preference is a 10 or 12, but that's also because we are only usually cooking for 2 people, so we don't really need much more for that, right? But that keeps you from, if you've got a bigger one, obviously you're going to have a smaller one over here. So by having 2 10-inch or 2 12-inch skillets, whether they're cast iron or stainless steel, which is what we use a lot now too.
You'll be frying hash browns in ones and your eggs and sausage in the other ones.
One over there and one over there. And then you saw, obviously, this was over here.
That is a killer setup right there for that Coffyard.
Yes, and it obviously you can't see underneath, but these right here fit under here just perfect, so
that holds heat.
Yep, and these don't interfere with the pieces there. So once it's on there, it is pretty good, pretty stable. So again, when we were in Colorado, we used this to do. I made fajitas one night. We just took a bunch of leftover stuff that we, hadn't used that week, mushrooms and onions, and I just kind of threw them all together and we made a fajita out of them. And this skillet came in perfect for that. It actually heated pretty even on both sides, which I was surprised.
It did very well.
That was the first time that we had tried that, and I thought maybe it would get cold spots, but it really didn't. It really did seem to heat pretty evenly for this setup. Which
that works great with a bad boy, because that's actually what that griddle was for. Was that cook oven that we've got that we showed you in one of our other videos. And that right there works really good on it. Also works really good on all three setups, surprisingly. It does really well.
Yep, it's very versatile. And that was one thing that we try to do, is make sure we can use the pieces for whichever type of camping or overlanding we do. Obviously, if we're overlanding, we're a little bit more, space restricted. So we want the smaller pieces, and that we can use all the different ways we're going to use them. Not one pan for this and one pan for that and a pot for this, because it's just you add up so much weight.
Eats up a lot of space.
And eat up a lot of space when you do that. If we go camping, where we're going and setting up a tent and staying there for 3 or 4 days, and then just going maybe exploring or kayaking or something, and we're not worried about taking base camp down every night, then we can get a little bit more, we can use more tools and utensils. But for us, a lot of what we do, less is more.
All right, guys, if you're liking this video, make sure you like this video, like the video. It just takes a second. It really helps us.
Yep. Let us know what you're interested in, so we can keep making some content that you guys like.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see our Gerber set back here behind us. We use that a lot. The biggest question for this video was stability, and I hope we were able to really show that being stable for this on both different platforms. The griddle, the skillet, all that stuff is just as stable on the big bad boy, the Camp Chef that we showed you guys previously. So if you guys got any more questions about what we use, type of gear, how we use it, if you'd like to start seeing more cooking videos from our master chef here, Christy.
I don't know about master chef.
We can show you food prep. We can show you how we do it when we're out and about, start to finish, not just a general as some of our other videos are, if you want to go check those out. We just got back from Colorado, and this Coffyard setup is what we used for this big trip. We were gone for 9 days. And we pretty much used
5 of those in the woods in the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely.
No electric.
Wind, we're on top of ridges, we're by creeks, we're in wind tunnels, and the Coffyard worked really good. But we actually used it on our cook table that we showed you guys, not just our tailgate like this. So yeah, I mean, other than the table that you put it on, whether it be a folding table, the Camp Chef table that we have that we use, that's where the stability comes in. The actual cooktops themselves are very stable, and you typically don't have no issue. The only real difference between the Coffyard and that Coleman that you're seeing in front of us here is the wind guards. And you can get different types of wind guards that folds up really small that will go around your Coffyard and help that factor with you. So if you are on a ridge line and the wind's blowing in and you're struggling, you can get those, and they fold up really tight and they're really compact and lightweight.
We have not needed one yet, so
not yet.
It's obviously not something we've been interested in. I will say, as far as stability goes, the only issues we've ever had is if the ground's not level and we're putting everything on a table, but once we level the table, we're good to go. And we've done that with rocks or sticks or whatever.
High lift bumper jacks.
Yep. You've used bumper jacks before.
On the old Jeep, we use it a lot.
Yep. So once you get your table leveled, you're good to go. Like, these are pretty stable and good tools to use. They're
pretty bulletproof. We've been the Coleman we mentioned we've had for probably 25 or better years, and it's never given us any problems. The Coffyard is something we just switched to this year just because we're planning and doing longer excursions now, and so
Space
is limited. Like most everybody that does this, it'd be nice. Otherwise, we would be pulling around a 20-foot box trailer with us to haul over our gear. So
kind of defeats the purpose.
That kind of defeats the purpose of getting away and getting where we want to go. So
I think that's it.
Is that it?
Let us know what else you guys want to see.
Absolutely. If you've got any questions, let us know. What do you guys use? Put them down in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, then let us know and we'll start shooting more of this stuff. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and
see you on the next one.
Hopefully we'll see you on the trails. So see you guys.
So compact.
Oh, absolutely. That's why that thing's handy.
Everything has its place.
Yep. So that griddle goes in, goes over top.
Budget it down for safe measures.
Yep, so don't go nowhere.
There's our coffee.
Gerber cook set, coffee pot. This cast iron skillet goes down in there as well. So this goes in our pack up. And we're ready to go on the next one.